So, okay, we're on our way. We're going around to different people involved with Transformers. And this is such an exciting thing for me to be in a big budget blockbuster, you know, with big budget stars and blockbuster directors and robots and aliens and gunfire, you know, so much gunfire. And I've never been in a film with that much gunfire. So we're going actually to Mark Wahlberg's house, and I'm just gonna thank him, because he sort of took me under his wing, you know? And he's very strong, so when he did that, it actually almost crushed and fractured my skull. All right, we're gonna go see a little Mark Wahlberg. Sorry, new van. All right. So we're gonna you've got the address and everything? This is my assistant, Kathleen. I thought she was an intern for about, I'd say a year and a half, and then she explained that I hadn't paid her, and so so that was a financial kind of burden. So I've got my Transformers shirt, and Kathleen said maybe I could give it to Mark Wahlberg, and I said, absolutely not! Well, we're gonna try and get in there right now and talk to Mark and just tell him thank you. And see a little bit more about what it's like to be the star of Transformers 4. Well, co-star. You know, I think we can just get over the fence. You know, we should try the buzzer. We'll try the buzzer. We also brought him some lobster candy, so if you can get a shot of that. This is foreign.
Hasbro's based in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and what makes it special for me is that it runs the Transformers brand. Certainly we have a lot of partners, but for Hasbro, the crown jewel is Transformers.
What we wanted to do was create a campus, an environment that led to creativity. You can actually dream up almost anything within the company's walls, model that product, photograph that product, package that product, and never leave your desk.
Hasbro's an awesome place to work, obviously, because you're gonna make toys, and that's fun. You know, growing up as a kid, you know, I grew up on Transformers. It was a great brand to play with, and I never made the connection that you could actually go and make Transformers. And as I got older and I realized that through design that was actually, you know, a job that you could do that, I pursued that.
My name's John. I work as a design manager at Hasbro, and my job is to make cool robots that transform into stuff. I think what's unique about Transformers Age of Extinction is the production staff did such an incredible job of really making those characters unique and special from each other. And to me, I think that's going to be something that not only resonates with me as an artist and a fan of Transformers, but also I think it's going to really connect with kids. You have a guy that has a big trench coat, for example. That's a cool added feature on a toy, or something cool to draw.
Just look at Drifting Crosshairs. You just look at the characters. I mean, look at the cars and what they become and how realistic they are as characters.
Transformers 4, there was an opportunity to introduce new characters that people were looking forward to and many people wanted to see on the screen. Being able to bring that to the audience was a big deal for us.
Obviously, the fans love Dinobots. It's been a big part of our lore for a long time. And Grimlock is the leader of the Dinobots.
Grimlock was a character that was created in 1985, and at the time, in the story, he was an Autobot, but he was kind of like a masterless warrior, and he had his crazy band of Dinobots that went along with him, and he wasn't the brightest guy. He kind of talked like a caveman, like, hey, Grimlock, smash. And we knew that this character meant a lot to a full generation of people.
And we discussed how could we take Grimlock, you know, from back then and reinvent him for the future. Because Grimlock back in 1985, 86, it's kind of this big lumbering, you know, dinosaur, his tail's dragging on the ground, and he's kind of old school. And we wanted to reimagine them to be kind of new school, be something fun and contemporary. If you watch the film franchise, Michael Bay puts in a lot of action where the character's running into the screen and transforms, but it's all in one take.
Something we wanted to bring to the table was this idea of really fast-moving dinosaurs. They're tearing through things, it's giant destructive force, and what we're doing now with Transformers 4 toys is we're really trying to bring the magic into the toy so that fluidity of transformation happens, and it was a difficult process to get there.
The product designers had an idea for creating this.
That's our hero product. And our design team did an amazing job to create a massive stomp and chomp Grimlock that literally has all these different functions.
So what area is that coming out of?
Well, we were talking about having this part of his neck open,
Oh, that's cool.
and then the weapons would deploy about that spot right there.
And I think that if the handle is positioned right, we could make sure that it clears the top and fits on the
Yeah.
shelf.
With the creation of the Stomp and Chomp Grimlock, we wanted to really convey that awesome, awe-inspired presence of Grimlock. This guy is big, so we had to make the toy big. And we kept looking at it, we're like, yeah, it's not big enough, it's gotta be bigger, it's gotta be bigger.
We're all working together from the very beginning, literally in a room, trying to kind of sketch things out. It all kind of gels together, you know, piece by piece until we end up with something we go, hey, this is pretty cool. We like what we got here. We feel comfortable. And then we take it from there on to model building and then into manufacturing and so on.
So my name is Patrick Marr. I'm the senior manager of Hasbro's model shop, and we're responsible for developing all the prototypes for Hasbro's products. So I'm going to give you a quick tour, show you around, and show you how we do some of the things that we make. Before we make any physical models, we work it out in our CAD/CAM packages to make sure all the parts fit together, they function properly, and that we are able to manipulate them properly before we waste time growing them. Stephen Gray's working on a CAM package right now, and he's going to demonstrate some things for you.
So right now I'm working on some surfacing issues with this model. What we want to do is we want to make sure when we go to send stuff over to the RP lab that it's a good file to work with. So right now what I'm working on is the melt that goes right in front of the dyno right here. I'm just going to quickly inspect the part to make sure it looks pretty good. And now we're going to drag and drop it into our assembly. In this package we can also move things and see how they interact with each other. We can automatically see interferences, adjust for them, and save time on the end so we don't have to regrow parts.
In that stage, we also start to refine the aesthetics. We get the nuances from the movie, we put them onto the toy. And this is sometimes the hardest part, because what you end up doing is you have to sacrifice sometimes some of that detail for the function of the toy, depending on, especially with Transformers, where it's going to transform. Are there parts that are going to interfere with each other? How do the pieces have to move for a fluid transformation? And this is one of the greatest challenges of the process, is really trying to stay true to those awesome details, but also trying to communicate something that is actually going to be translated as a toy. So it's got to become plastic at some point.
We're one of the few places on the East Coast that have 5 different technologies in-house of rapid prototyping. 2 of the machines are inside this window, and we're growing some of the parts for our Transformers team right now.
So this is our Connex printer. It's a polyjet technology. It basically utilizes the same technology as your inkjet printer that you use at home. It's got 8 print heads in there. 4 of them are for support, which actually cradles the part and enables us to build it. And then 4 of the print heads are actually used for the resin that the machine is jetting out right now. Very small, thin layers, about 40 microns, I think, is where it's at right now. Blood cell, I think, is 25 microns. It's pretty thin layers of material, so it's pretty cool stuff.
In the past, they would all be hand-built models. Now we're growing them. We're growing them every night. So we can come in literally the next day, see all of our changes in plastic in our hands. And so the speed is just really fast in the development process, which is great for us.
Our casting department is where we make all our duplicate parts. So with 1,700 items in the line, we make 5 models of each item. We have to use these RTV molds to make all our duplication.
My name is Mike Cody. I'm a senior caster at Hasbro. Okay, casting is a reproduction of all the parts for tooling that we do throughout the company. We're gonna spray the mold with release. Then we're gonna put the two halves together. Then what we do is we take the mold, just so no urethane comes out of the mold. And then we go to pour our urethane. Then we mix. We pour the urethane. And then what we have to do is we have to put it in a chamber. We'll go into the chamber for an hour. And then it'll come out and we'll demold it. And these will be the parts that will come out of the mold. This is the front half of the face and the back half of the face. And what we do is once they're dry, we'll put them together. And the casting is Optimus Prime.
So now we're on our final stop on the tour, and that's where we're going to put the deco on top of our Grimlock. So Mark's going to show you how we apply our deco, or paint in this case, match that deco sheet, and get that product looking as good as we can.
My name is Mark Maha. I'm the Transformers model artist. I'm in charge of the prototyping process for Transformers. I get the prototype, break it down into pieces as you can see here. There are 19 molds for this Stomp and Chop Grimlock. And then once I get the deco sheet from the designer, I actually take it to the spray room, base out all these pieces in the color. I think I'll spray this piece, and maybe I'll spray a leg, top of the leg. We'll do the whole leg, and we'll do a top of the leg, we'll do this piece. We'll do a couple pieces, you know? All right, let's do it.
After you take apart the pieces, the hand oils that you leave on top of the gray model will actually separate the paint when the paint hits it. So you clean it with a little Bastine first. It dissolves all the natural oils from your hand, and then you can get a nice clean painted surface. So one of the things is there are many colors. We actually hand mix each color with lacquer paint to hit the color spot on. So it's the exact color that the designer wants for the item. So you can imagine how difficult it is to match all these colors by hand. There's no certain formula. It's all by eye. Some metallics, in order to get a really nice sparkly finish, you do a two-step process. So I actually mix two colors. So the first color would be this for the base coat. And then I actually mix this before. It's an overspray. It's just a tint with powder in it. So it just gives like a nice metallic sheen to it, almost like a gloss finish as well. So as you can see the difference, now it has a nice shiny metallic finish, whereas this has more of like a dull coat on it, really.
I love Transformers, always have since the early G1 days. Being part of the brand is like a dream come true. After I paint the item, put it back together, it gets put onto the table for sign-off. The whole team comes down, checks it out, marketing, design, just to make sure it looks the way they want it to look.
The Grimlock toy plays just like Grimlock does in the movie. You know, it transforms very easily. Optimus Prime rides on the back. When Optimus gets on his back, it activates unique responses. lights and sounds. And then if you were to put a different character on the back of Grimlock, you get different lights and sounds and different response from Grimlock. And so you actually play out the Autobot and Decepticon fantasy within the toy line as we do in the movies.
Came out really good, guys. This is awesome. Nice work. Man, let's ship it.
The biggest thing about Stomp and Chomp Grimlock to me is that it looks really cool. We didn't take away from the design of it. It is a cool looking Dinobot, so he's not simple. He's still very detailed and very engaging, which illustrates how much of a great product it is because they respect, you know, the look and feel of what it does, even though it is a very simple transformation.
It's magic.
Grimlock is fantastic because you just grab that handle and go. You know, it's a dinosaur 1 second and it's a giant robot the next second.
Grimlock started in 2011 and now it's 2014. So it's about anywhere from a 2 to 3 year process to go from concept to something on retail shelf. When you're at retail and you see a kid come up and start playing with it, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You know, I worked 3 years on that and this kid is doing and playing with something just the way I would have played with it back when, you know, I was a kid. That never gets old.
It's just some of the most rewarding moments of our jobs is to be able to see the magic in a kid's eyes and to think, wow, this thing is real. It's something that started out 3 years ago, and here it is.
I think the best thing that gets me out of bed and gets me here and makes me excited about my job is the idea that we're molding entertainment, we're molding experiences for the next generation, for kids to remember, and to be able to come into work and think about that and think about how we're molding the next set of minds is really a powerful thing.
There we have it. Transformers.
Thanks for the opportunity to show you around the model shop. We're very proud of the work that we do here at Hasbro. We have a lot of talented people, and we love bringing Hasbro's products to life. Now it's time to get back to work.
So, Harriet, are you a big fan of Michael's Transformers films?
I've never seen those pictures.
Yes. Hello, welcome to Transformers Quattro.
Here we go. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. All right, let's go.
Buses flying, trains flying,
A little metallic.
stuff blowing up.
That was awesome, Sean.
We tipped the scales this week. Will it be rolling?
It's still rolling!
Our visual effects supervisor just got here to set. Scott, how are you?
Okay.
Really?
Are you ready yet, Michael?
Yes, we are.
Okay,
sir.
let's
We
shoot.
are.
Don't film me.
That's perfect.
What do you think?
There's Michael. He just got here.
What the? What's your slap shot?
budgies. We're shooting with reds on this show.
You just give me like a pop, 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 pop.
Bing, 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 bing.
And then we're gonna go boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom. Jack, don't get this out of here.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna get a picture.
Nick's doing great, especially when Bay often refers to her as the girl. It's so hard to remember Nick. You know, it's 3 letters, it ends with a C. Where does the N come in? One more if you got it quick.
Okay.
I definitely bring a sort of a levity to the set that
He does.
no one, especially Mark Wahlberg, can really bring.
Hey, we got Stanley Tucci here. Wants to say
Stanley, say congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Wonderful.
Stanley Tucci.
It's this close to winning.
Hey, Stanley, can I ask you a little favor?
Gabby, I really don't want to do any press right now.
That's what I'm upset about.
Who? You have to go this way.
I don't want to do an EPK. I don't want to talk to anyone.
When the house blows, take cover. Dive to the deck. Don't do that. Don't dive to the deck. Dive to the deck when the house blows. Don't dive to the deck.
Whatever.
It's not an EPK. It's actually something for a little happy birthday.
For who?
wish.
For birthday. He's good. He's doing good.
Birthday.
Birthday. Yeah.
Michael.
Michael. Perfect. Yes.
Michael.
Yes. Well done.
Anyway, like I was saying.
You guys belted in?
No, we're not belted in.
I'll be dead in a minute.
It's a Transformers movie. Why would we be belted in?
He was really a very good kid, basically. The worst thing he did, I came home and found out that he knocked out all the windows in the front of my house because he wanted it to look real. I said, well, can't you use that sugar glass? No, he says, it just wouldn't look real. But don't worry, I called the glass company. They're coming and they're going to replace it all tomorrow. Yeah, I paid for it. I mean, you know, it's like, okay.
The house isn't in jeopardy, is
The
it?
house is not. I'm told the guys to go out to the field first, then get the house. The house
Okay.
will be just smoldering inside our
All right.
drywall
Okay.
containment area.
The house is not in jeopardy?
The house is not in jeopardy.
广汽很骄傲，很自豪，参与这部电影。
So I'm here in China.
It's an awesome place. How many steps?
Oh, 3,000. I might have a heart attack. Hang on one second. Explain to him that what we're seeing a robot up there. Explain to him. Yeah.
就是说，咱们这个是啊，一个这个变形金刚，就是一大怪物，然后那个从这个空间的地方那边唰就飞下来了，然后哗就。
I said about 2 seconds. I said 4 words to describe
咱
it.
们就感觉就是特别恐惧。
I'm not exactly sure what he just said. This is the swimming cube made for the Olympics. Can you change it to pink? What? Pink. Okay. We close the wall, all right? They're trying to figure out the color pink. Oh, I actually told him to change the entire cube to bumblebee color. He keeps saying Optimus Prime. I'm saying, no, it's bumblebee. Bumblebee color. No, that's bad.
I keep thinking, what did I do wrong?
Go on green, blue. Ah, there we go.
I honestly don't know.
You seen Transformers?
Yeah.
Good. Another ticket sold.
Today's a very calm day.
Very calm day. No screaming or yelling. Awesome. I'm loving it.
Guys, I don't need all you in the street. What do I need all you in the street for?
Well, once he was, when he was screaming practically at Sean Connery.
Get in there! Shut up, everyone.
Sean Connery's like 70-some years old.
I try to keep it easy on you guys, because comprehension is at a low, all-time low.
Be nice.
He says, Mom, he's used to it. Don't worry about it. I said, well, Michael, you need to respect his age. That's how they talk. I said, okay. He's basically a very soft-hearted, kind person. As a child, I mean, he just was never bored, ever. He built his own go-kart.
I could see owning one of these.
And then he had model trains, and he didn't care so much about the trains. He cared about the set. And he made mountains of plaster Paris, did a little explosion on them. He did a little explosion on the train set. He's doing what he loved as a child. It's not very different.
I'm gonna have police cars there.
It's the same stuff, only on a grander scale.
Roll the IMAX. Clear. We rolling? You got speed? 3, 2, 1. We're out of here.
Doing action, I like to challenge myself each time out. I try to take everything I've learned from Bad Boys on of how to make it better, make it different. I am always trying to put my cameras in very unique places and give the audience a much more unique view. You know, example is when Shane, a character named Shane, arrives at the farm. I had this vision in my mind after I used the Phantom Flex, which is a very, very high-speed digital camera. I realized that your sense of time and space get warped. And the human mind can't track what is the correct time. And if you start throwing 3 or 4 things at an audience in the screen, their brain can't compute, oh, that car should be going faster or slower, or that grass is going too fast. It just starts to warp in their mind. And I knew that it would be an extremely cool shot to have a car on a crane, have it traveling, and I wanted someone to run into the front tire.
Going like this.
And I've got a wonderful crew. A lot of them have been with me 16, 17, 18 years. But my crew was like, how are you going to do this shot? I don't get it. We kept having meetings about it. I said, guys, I don't want to have any more meetings about it. Enough talk. Just get me 3 air mortars, get me a crane that can move the car 10 feet, and make a very, very soft foam tire so the stuntman can't hit his face very hard. So when we did this shot, I just told the stuntman to run hard at this tire, hit his face. The secret sauce, there's always secret sauce in my shots. The glasses and the goop in his mouth. He just had to spit it out to make it look like he's getting whacked in the face. And then finally, when I showed them the Phantom Flex at speed, at very high rate of speed, maybe I shot it. I'm not going to give that. I'm not going to give it to future directors. They'll figure it out on their own. Boom. But I showed the crew, and they're like, oh, I get it. I get it.
That's great, Jack.
You know, I've done enough big scale movies where there's a point when it's just, here's the menu of what I need to make my shots. I will tell you on the day, this is how we're going to do it. And let's cut this meeting short because I have other meetings to attend to. When you watch the rhythm of the movie, it's a slower burn, it's a slower build. There's not a lot of wham-bam action right in the front, intentionally. And then when they get on that spaceship, there's a series of big set pieces all in a row. It keeps going. We were the first movie in the world to use the IMAX 3D digital camera. And it really, when you see that cable sequence, especially the way it was meant to be shown, which is in IMAX, you really get this sensation when you walk out on the cables.
Don't look down, okay?
And so what I try to do with my action is I will go from the very big epic shot to the small, minute face shots of Tessa freaking out on the cables. Literally just having a semi-panic attack, just from sheer fear of heights.
I'm not moving! I'm going back to the ship!
My style is to do something small like that, and then you just, bam, you whack them with the 2 F-22s passing by. If you watch through the style of the movie, that's kind of what I'm doing with my action. In beating out the script, it became apparent very early on that I was zeroing in on a major city that had big green lush hills next to a big urban building area. And that leaves you basically with Rio, Hawaii, Oahu, and Hong Kong. Visually, I'd been to Hong Kong, and I've always thought it was a stupendous place to shoot a movie.
Climb, climb, surround them.
I had seen that apartment building in Hong Kong, and it's just, I knew right when I saw it, I want to do an action scene that's very parkour down this crazy place. I think there's 30,000 people that live in this place. To do this scene, we had to reconstruct a lot of the upper roofs just for weight.
We should put a camera while they're getting handheld. They're going to throw a bunch of stuff off. We'll see it all fall towards us.
Once we strengthened the roofs, you then have 2 actors that are scared of heights. That's a whole other issue you got to deal with. I wouldn't do it, but I've had a lot of experience dealing with actors like that because generally they're afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights, but you basically get in their face and say, what are you doing? You're going to get up there. These guys are pros. Get on a cable. Let's go.
All right. Everyone ready? Here we go. And roll cameras.
And unbeknownst to me, when you shoot in Hong Kong, they have a whole different style. They are not allowed to lock down anything. No roads, no streets, nothing. And I'm not used to that at all. But an example, a car chase, this is how they do it in Hong Kong. We're shooting on the roads. We would have stunt people that would sort of block, slow the freeway as we have other stunt people now in a street that's kind of clear from our group slowing the traffic in a way. We're in a van with a door open here and a back door open there and 2 cameramen, handheld, a lot of it's handheld, and just kind of raw. And it is fun shooting like that, I gotta tell you. There's a lot of humanity there, and they don't stop for anything. With so much humanity in Hong Kong, we had to supplement Hong Kong by using Detroit.
All right, let's go again.
I've been to Detroit so many times. I was one of the first guys to shoot in Detroit before it was hip to shoot in Detroit, going all the way back to Transformers 1, even the island before that. And that's where we were able to do a lot of big physical stuff. We used it for the massive car pulls and the big drops. Because I'm still an old school director and using a lot of very real effects. I just like moving big things very close to the camera. Keep it real. In the midst of this big dropping section, we call it the backwards drive, we tried this brand new Austrian robotic camera. We're the first to use it. Amir, my amazing DP, found it. It was a very complicated rig. It's a robotic arm that might have 7 different axes. When you look at the backwards drive, you can see we come through the skylight. We are looking in the back seat. We kind of pull around Mark, and Mark looks outside the window. That's actually happening, not blue screen. That's all happening when they're really driving and stuff is going on and extras are running around. And again, going from the big epic action outside to the stuff right inside with our people.
Oh my God!
Early on, I wanted to really get them inside. We call it the noodle shop, where they drive inside. So now we don't have to see the massive world outside. It's a way of being more cost-effective, but still keeping the fear in the audience's minds of what's happening outside as this ship is pulling these soup ladles and the car pulling up through the roof and whatnot.
Car!
Right behind you.
I knew when I got to the silo scene that I wanted to make it just about our cast and the three of them that started in this little innocent place called Texas, and it was those three that were going to help with Optimus and Bumblebee. They were going to help take down Lockdown. So I wanted a very close quarter kind of fight, and everyone doing kind of the one thing that the best of what they like. Jack being the driver, Mark having that alien gun, and Nicola doing anything to save her dad.
Drive!
But then there is also the imaginary action. On these days where there's nothing in the frame, and I mean nothing,
2, 1, fire.
these are days where the crew just goes by my lead, and I try to explain this is what's going on. I've got a previs for it.
4 seconds of transformation, and then he starts running.
I'm telling the camera operators this is how long you want to pan.
And
This is how long it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
he punches on 2, so you're panning, okay?
Believe it or not, it's as simple sometimes as gravity. That's why I have a tennis ball. Throw it up, and you count how many seconds it takes to fall down. That will sometimes give us the hang times of certain characters flying through the air just to get it right, physics-wise. It's an odd tool, but believe it or not, it really works. These movies are extremely fun to do. You're showing the true goodness of the Autobots, good fighting evil, with good, hardcore, fun action. That's what I keep trying to do with these movies, time and time again.